Hello and what's up? Today we will be talking about the Atlas passes for 3.15 and I have prepared a nifty little tier list to help us along the way. So let's get right to it. Starting with Hayward, we actually have a couple S tiers over here. Starting with Essence, which is as always fantastic for crafting if it's early on or if you're playing solo self-found or you just like crafting in general. These nodes are never bad and I would always get these. The other S tier nodes in my opinion are Ritual, because you can actually get a lot of good shit from this. If it's currency, if it's 6 links, I actually was offered a 6 link quite early with Ritual, luckily. So you can even out your curve of RNG with this. Also, there's base types that are just fantastic, such as the Archdemon Crown, which enable a lot of builds or are just great additions. Now, in terms of A tiers, we have Wild Fruit and Intelligence Gathering. Wild Fruit being this one, which can give you a tier 4 plant from your harvest. Some of the better stuff is hidden behind these, and you definitely want to be looking out for them. And the other one is Intelligence Gathering, which gives you 10 intelligence for random Immortal Syndicate safe houses, which helps you progress your masterminds quite easily, even though you still have to do your missions in order to upgrade your rogues. The others I have rated lower, such as the Grove's Call or Nature's Favor, as well as Bribery. These with a B tier, since I think they're worth less in general. And then there's Focused Investigation, which also is not really something you would want unless you really go for this, for example, but this is bad on its own. Only take this if you're traveling for Intelligence Gathering, completely skip this one. In my opinion, get these two first, then these, and you should be good. You can make a point in saying you don't want either Amplified or Paid in Blood and get Wild Fruit if you're really into harvest, but I'm okay with just having extra harvests every now and then. Next up is Tier's End, where we don't have any exceptional stuff, but there are two things that are notable. One of them being exotic goods, which I label A, since an additional valuable item can mean anything from a stack of currency, but also 6 link. This is quite interesting because you always get additional invasion bosses, so you always get value. In my opinion, especially early on, this is an A tier passive. On the other hand, you can make a choice here. You can either go for Abyss, so there's gonna be Underground Kingdom giving you high chance of getting abysses with abyssal depths, and then there's Buried Riches as well as Lightless Legion. Now this one just gives you straight up more currency items. This one on the other hand gives you a lot easier access to eye level 86 Stygian Vices, which are interesting with influence and for crafting in general. You would have the choice of going for Delirium. So this one straight up gives you an increased chance to find Delirium. This one would give you a faster progression on your tiers of rewards the farther you go away from the mirror. This one makes you lose Delirium more slowly. If you were to favor one over the other, I would probably go with Greater Forces. If you're playing a slower build, this might be for you, but yes, I would probably go for this one anyway. And then there's also Big Game and Gripe Migration, which I don't think will be too great. Bestiary is an interesting mechanic, but there are better regions for Bestiary. Next up is Lex Proxima, which is the first region to contain an E tier, this one being Science. Now, this was an interesting note before because it was actually kind of strong. You had a lot of possessed monsters and it had great interaction with the Sexton that gave you certain drops, e.g. Scarabs, when you kill possessed monsters. But this is not trash. They have nerfed it to run so hard it is unusable, but on the light side there are a few things you can do here that are actually valuable. such as Delve. We have Rich Veins and we have Sulfide Invasion over here, which are A tier nodes in my opinion. If you do a lot of delving, these are definitely great since you get a lot of extra sulfide. And well, there's Packed with Energy, which is certainly more geared towards mappers. I don't think this one is worth picking up, but you know, if you really go into it, you can pick up this as well. Although I think you can spend your points more wisely, for example with Gatekeepers and Within the Grasp, which will give you an increased chance to get breach stones from breaches, which is fantastic. Now, Within the Grasp has been overlooked before, but since the changes to breach stones allowing you to use blessings to upgrade them to the next tier, this is actually valuable since you will be saving on blessings. This is especially good for SSF since you have less access to trade, and that means you don't have as many blessings as you would have otherwise. There's also Bountiful Harvest, but just investing a few nodes into Harvest in a region that is not geared towards that is probably not a great idea, so this one is a D tier. Let's get to a funny one. Lex Joris gives us Kadibro with a friend of the family. He will give us good deals for less of a price with rarer items, which is a welcome one. So that can be anything from a Guardian map to impulse zones or camps. It's all RNG and all in good fun. So this is a good one. As well as Val Oligarchs, which gives us access to the Val Flesh Merchant. Now, who is that? He is a boss monster, or rather a unique monster you will find in every incursion. If you kill him, he will drop a random stack of currency, which can range from just a few jewelers to fusings to chaos, whatever. Other than that, there's of course Delirium, which can be good if your build can handle it. If you're farming for Simulacrum Splinters and unique clusters, Persecutory Delusion is the go-to. Otherwise we have Compulsive Hoarder, which, well, with a low chance, will provide you with a lot of extra value. The Incursion here is not that great. I don't rate this highly. If you need extra time, or if you're starving for missions, this can be good, but I think there are better options over here. Also, there's the Rogue Metamorph, as well as Find Samples, both of which I don't label very highly. This one, for example, kills a lot of people in hardcore, so if you're playing that, definitely avoid this one. It can be fun, but it's very random, and you get better guaranteed results from something like Val Oligarchs as well as Delirium. Newest tier is another one of those fantastic regions that gives you a lot of good bang for your buck. We have Emblematic, which gives you a chance to find a timeless emblem instead of a timeless splinter, which in itself is fantastic. War Supplies also is quite decent since gaining additional warhordes is very valuable. On the other hand, we have Rogue Trader, which is sort of like Legion, but you have wild rogue exiles that you don't have to get out of the stasis first. This is often overlooked, but if you get those extra rogue exiles, you definitely notice all the extra rewards. So this one, definitely worth it. On the other hand, we have a couple B tiers. With the Delph one, we have Sulfide Sentinels, which provides a good bunch of extra sulfide, as well as Mad Devotion. So if you're really going for delves, this can be worth your while since you get extra Nico missions. Otherwise, there's Abyssal Army and Votive Horde, both of which I label D tier. You probably want to go for these two, and then you can make a decision. Do you want Sulfide Sentinels? If yes, then do that. Otherwise, get Rogue Trader and get like the first 2 points here. Get your Mad Devotion and get some extra Nico missions that you can also throw on different regions. Another S tier. Galenic Cairns has per diamond or per demon or however this is spelled. Someone from GGG, please confirm if I say this correctly. But getting additional basic currency items from Rare Beyond Demons is actually really fucking good if you already roll Beyond on your maps. Maybe you get that from Sexton also. This actually matters. And on the other hand, we have resource reallocation and contested development, which is fantastic for incursion, so a lot of good value from this one. Now, you see me pick Monumental because I want to go for high value targets and face-to-face early on, but I will later be switching to per demon when my build can handle this and I go for a double and triple Beyond. Then this is very valuable. Early on, like me, you can go for Legion or just stick with Incursion and go for this early on. That's up to you. On the other hand, we have the Strongbox stuff, which I think is quite terrible. Although having Corrupted Chest can yield you 6 links, I don't think this is as valuable as some people make this out to be. Now for some nostalgia. Remember when Valdo's Rest was actually really good for Harbingers? Well, it turns out it's not anymore. So GGG has found out that people have been running a lot of Valdo because of the Harbingers, and there have been a few bugs they have also scourged, revolving around Diplomatic Escort, which gives you a powerful Harbinger boss, and apparently it spawned way too many Harbingers, but that's been fixed. So, well, with all of the nerfs also to Watchstones, I don't think Harbingers will be as good as they were before. As at least I would say, don't pick Diplomatic Escort if you go for it, because there are other options that are also valuable. Now, you see me going for Blight over here. Actually, I think High Yield and Repeated Experiment are going to be great once you have access to all of these. If you're going for meta mode, especially with the Scarabs, you can get a lot of value out of this, since you can make every single reward or every single sample, I should rather say, reward that you can choose. So Blight, on the other hand, has the added value of getting additional Blight bosses or, well, some additional reward chests, which is precisely what I'm going for here. On the other hand, we have Test of Loyalty, as well as Gut Instinct, which I don't think will be good. But to each their own. If you really don't like meta mode, you can go for Harbingers as well as Blight, and maybe also get one of these. Test of Loyalty probably being better if you're building up your rogues to have the tier 3s, but I would personally prefer going Repeated Experiment and High Yield, and then picking the other two either for Harbinger or going for Blight. Now for the final region of the Atlas, Lyra Attain. You like value? Well, this region got value for you. We get additional Smuggler's Caches, we get fully revealed blueprints and increased chance to find them, which are both amazing. Heist, even if you don't like it, you cannot deny the fact that you find a lot of shit from Heist, and blueprints give you the most value out of them all. Now, the good thing is you don't have to run these. Maybe you have friends who do, or you can sell it. That is up to you, but I think Inside Job is no-brainer, actually. On the other hand, we have Bestiary with Natural Selection, which gives you less comp varieties. Now, what does that mean? Less comp varieties means that you get the ones that are rare. So that would be a Ferric Alpha Tiger, or you get access to the Split Beast. So if you run your Einhars, you probably want to do that in Lyra Attain. On the other hand, you have a Breach with the Flash Breach and Probing for Weakness. These are okay, but I don't value them quite as much. So in my opinion, you get Inside Job, and then you make the choice, do you like Bestiary? Do you want some high tier beasts? Well, go for this. And then you can decide if you want some additional Blight encounters on your maps, then you would take this one. Immune Response is kind of interesting. If you don't like wasting time, you get a lot of extra monsters, and if you play a build that can deal exceptionally well with, say, explosions on an occultist, or you have those juicy Herald of Ices, definitely a good choice. I hope my tier list helped you in deciding what Atlas passives should be avoided and which benefit you and your playstyle the best. If you want to support the channel, please leave a like, leave a comment, leave a sub. It really helps, you wouldn't believe. Otherwise, you can find me live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, 8 PM Central European Standard Time. The link, of course, is in the description. And with that, Crusader out. Peace.